A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Alright. I've heard a lot about this game, guys. I've heard it's actually pretty good. It is a
Someone had
walking
put up a
simulator.
chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Oh, I like that.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
What type of crazy house is that?
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
7 years.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
There's a ring around her neck.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
The Finches. They're actually Finches. I didn't expect to make a decision. This is a walking sim. I'm gonna go down. I don't know why I'm going down into the forest. There's no jump button, I'm assuming. What do these things say? I think I'll
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
So we know the mother passed. We know the brother died. She's got nobody.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Oh, there's a moose. There's a deer. What a
The house
crazy
was
house.
exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
What a crazy house.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Tell you what, I'd be uncomfortable in that top corner there. Looks like it's gonna fall. I swear to God, I've got the same chair in my backyard.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Dragon in the pond. Who's Edie?
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Okay.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Oh. Hmm?
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
got like a ring around her neck. Looks like a wedding ring. Oh well. Round the back we go. It's a ramp. Someone was in a wheelchair.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Okay.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
The night we left. Secrets, lots of secrets.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
They just got up and left?
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Take away. There's Edie. She's the one in the wheelchair. A weird looking wheelchair.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Great Grandma Edie. Great Grandma. From the cove to the stove, witch's kitchen, secrets of the stove, wok and tempura, the pleasure of Japanese cooking, made of meat. It's all just cookbooks.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Ooh. There's another older house here, eh?
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Milton went missing. Jeez, this door is like sealed and locked. Oh.
Instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Only one restaurant would deliver to our house. We had Chinese a lot. After Louis started working at the cannery, we all got pretty sick of salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
I'm assuming I'm Edith. There's Edie, there's Louis, the brother. And Dawn is the mother. I'm assuming.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Oh dear.
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Oh.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Okay. What the hell? It's like a little cubby house.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Isn't Molly the cat?
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Okay. Gerbil food was dry, I didn't mind it, okay.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Who is this?
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
I thought about. What do you mean I thought about? Why?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Yeah, we don't want to eat the goldfish.
I kept eating and eating.
She's really hungry.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Look at her hands.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Oh, what the hell? I'm a putty cat.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
such a crazy little mechanic, man. Being a cat. Come here, birdie. Coming to get you.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
Ooh.
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
This is such a cool walking simulator, man. So far.
Rabbits.
Where? No way. Oh, got it!
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Is this just like her imagination? Or is she some sort of level 90 druid?
A mama rabbit.
A mama rabbit.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What? What? What the hell is this? This is such a weird game. What is going on? I'm stuck.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Wow. Mate.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Oh. She is just an animal on the hunt.
tasted really good.
Oh, look.
I grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Oh, I'm a snake.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Out the toilet.
I got closer and closer.
That's my own, that was the girl's own bedroom.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors.
Daddy. Monster. There's sharks. I hear a cat. Okay, we climbed out of the window.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Ah, that's why I got confused. The cat had the same name as that girl. Who is that girl?
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Great-Grandma Edie's room. There's the pills. My dad's got one of those. VHS. Mole Man Beneath the Finch House. Win a family day out at Druid World.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Edith Jr. Lake Trip. A 72-year-old woman refuses to evacuate because of a little forest fire. Edie won't go.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
The Mysteries of Death and Thereafter. Molly Concepts. Barbara Concepts. Mural sketches. On memory. Built 1937. Sven Finch. So Edie and Sven, right? Is that how it works? This three. I think the leaves are people that are married into the Edie and Odin and Ingeborg. So Odin and Ingeborg had just one daughter, is that right? Edie and Sven had Molly died in 1947. 10 years old. I wonder what killed Molly. Calvin died at 11 years old. Sam died at 33 years old. Is that right? Yeah, 33. It's like a cursed family. Calvin 11, Barbara 19, 1944 to 1960 is only, what, 16 years old. Everyone died young. Gregory at the top there, 1976 to 77. So what, he died at 1 year old? Gus, 69 to 82. I'd be worried if I was Edith, looking at this family tree.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Ah, he died by the dragon slide outside that collapsed. What a crazy way to die, I think. Sven built this place. Sven. Tragedy strikes. Dragon kills Finch. He's Norwegian.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
In 2010 they left. Hey Space! How are you, mate? Playing something, a little bit of a change of pace from Diablo. Give my hands a rest.
Museum.
I'm very well, man. Thank you very much. Playing, what happened to Edith Finch, is it? What's this game called exactly? What Remains of Edith Finch, sorry. Odin Finch. Yeah, it's in definitely the same genre as Gone Home, man. Something to chillax with. Yeah, walking simulator I think they're called.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Odin Finch and Ingeborg. So if I press this button, yep, see at the bottom there, Odin marries Ingeborg. So the leaves are people that are married into the family. Newborn son Johan is not on this family tree.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
What a legend. He put his house on a boat and what, left Norway?
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
That's not the best plan.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
You don't want to do that, babe.
Just like to pull them apart. I know. I was trying to put the angel wings on.
And you super glued your fingers together.
Yeah.
Well, just...
I don't know what to do now about the angel wings. Feel it now.
Yeah, that shit's hectic, man. Super glue. Right, so Odin died out at sea.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
There's... No, I don't know how you get super glue off. Anyone in chat know how to get super glue off your finger? I still have one of these toys, you know. Super glue space. How do you get super glue off your one's finger? My girlfriend has stuck her fingers together.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
We got nothing from chat, babe. No one knows. Can I look through the people? No. Sven and Edie Finch.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Babe! Fingernail polish. Fingernail remover. Yep, that'll do it. That was space.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
This is a funky bathroom. Thanks, space. Girlfriend says you're a ledge. The mirror doesn't work. I wish I could see myself. There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Huh.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Murder probe. Clues exhausted. Couple turns land into a native haven. Couple turns. Milton on a swing? Milton was here? Calvin's bed, Sam's bed. Sam, Calvin, Barbara, Molly. These are all the children of Edie and Sven. I think me and my brother did that once. Put like a tape down the room. Yeah, man, I'm always up for that space. I can do that now. I've got a laptop, which I do it with my friend. We've done a few silly little podcasts together. A couple of them are on my YouTube channel. But yeah, man, we should jump on Discord and have a discussion. Yeah, dude, I'm happy to do that. Maybe we can talk about a time of getting on Discord and just having a chat about it first. And we can go from there. We use a web page called Zencaster, which I can use to do the podcast. But more than happy to space.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Grandpa Sam had a twin, yes, Calvin. Calvin and Sam were twins. Calvin died at 11 years old, Sam at 33. And then it seems like they had two more sisters, Molly, who died in 1947, and Barbara. Who's Walter? Yes.
And that he never talked about him.
Yeah, man. I totally agree, Space. I would love to.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
It's like a shrine to Calvin. He died at 11.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
This is such a cool walking simulator, I have to say. Yeah, man.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
He died before he ate another mushroom. It's not funny, but it is. Probably need to be walking around, but this is so cool. Oh, wow. You control both legs.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again.
Sweet like a child. This is
I
so
think Calvin
sick.
always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Oh shit, it's breaking.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
Whoa, come on.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Oh shit.
The day he made up his mind to fly.
Oh.
And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
That was freaking awesome, guys. That was so cool, dude. It actually brought back memories of me being on a swing, which has been a long time. And it answered the question of how Calvin died at 11 years old. Wow.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
I think finding out how like pretty much all her family's passed away. I think that's half the journey of this game.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
So Sam joined the army. The big question is, what's killing the Finches? Wait, I just want to make sure that I've done everything in this room. Enlist. Join the fight. Sam died in maybe... What war would he have died in? 1950 to 1983. Vietnam? It's a possibility. There's the two twins. That's why we got pictures of swings and stuff. The swing.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Barbara, 1944 to 1960, that's what? That's 16 years old.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
People wrote stories about Barbara's death?
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
I know that music
Thanks,
box.
babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh, this is so cool, dude. I'm looking around in the comic cell.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Oh, this is done so well.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Oh, this was the room we were in.
Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
It was quite smashing.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Go out here, can't we?
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just
Oh,
couldn't
no.
do it.
Of course not. What do I do?
Molly's door hadn't been opened over yet.
I knew he'd be gone.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear.
What?
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Someone made a comic of someone's death.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
She get killed by Rick. That was an unusual story. See how the starlets. Door is sealed as well.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key. As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Aha. The basement.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
There's Sven's model for the dragon slide that ended up killing him. If I could just find the power.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Carrying packages. Great Grandma Edie. Actually cannot see. It's a freaking wall. Power? No. Didn't find much in this basement so far, apart from this big dark area. Oh.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh yeah. What was she hiding? What was great-grandma hiding? Is there a mole man?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Oh, like a bunker.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Walter didn't die. Is it? See. Herbs, fruit. Did he live down here?
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 years? Walter in the basement.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
What the hell's wrong with Walter, man?
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Goes even deeper. I need to dig one.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara, Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Oh! Did he get hit by a train? Oh my god, I'll be right back, guys.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Poor guy. Jesus. Back. Okay. Poor Walter. Yeah, it's a sad story. He died in 2005.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
His books are all exorcism, spiritual warfare, 101 survival. I think the Finch family curse got to Walter. He just hunkered down in a bunker. Can I go down there? Hello? Weird. feel like I need to go down there. Except I can get hit by a train as well. It's ironic, he had train sets. How could it be a train? These guys are on an island.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
An uncle under the house, that's right.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Oh, shiznit.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Walter. Memorial to Walter. This is where he got hit. Must have been a bridge or something connecting this island. I can see a light out there.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Oh, there's a statue all the way over there. What the hell is going on there? How do we get up there? Is that Sven or Odin?
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Burpy Derpy. Derpy Jr. Chirpy, Furpy, Lurpy, Zerpy. You got Lucy, Daisy, Charlie, Tucker, Coco, Zoe.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Edie's a big character. This is where Molly is buried. Calvin the boy that flew. Sven who built the place. Edith Finch. What is this? There's some code that she's put on her own grave, for sure. Knit. She liked her puzzles. Hub. Knit. That's code for something. It's Walter. Barbara, I think, is my mother, or this character's mother, which we haven't learned much about.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Is Odin going down with his house?
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, is that the house? He died just a few meters away from the coast. He travelled all the way here and died a few meters from the coast.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Odin had some balls, man, putting his house on a boat. Setting sail. That's Sven and Edie watching Odin go under.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
So there's her mum and Edie have big different views on something.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Look how many Finches have died, man. It's like a massacre.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Even Sanjay Kumar, he's not a Finch.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Who is Sanjay Kumar?
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Treehouse?
But looking back on it now, If she told me there was going to be so much climbing,
I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
She's 22 weeks pregnant? We're on the garage.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
One of the really good things about this game is every object I see, they've just replicated objects that just exist. Like, everything looks familiar. I've seen that chair before, I've seen that gas canister, I've got an esky like that, I've got a freaking plastic chair on my balcony exactly like that. Literally. There's a terracotta pot, I've seen thousands of those. So Sam, right? He never went back into his old bedroom when his twin died on the swing. He must have moved up here. Went to war and stuff. Are we gonna do like a... Is this gonna go Call of Duty on me now? Vietnam War?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
Oh, there we go.
We'll never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hmm.
Hey!
That's a keeper. Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad...
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
Great picture.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, quick. Run up.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
Oh my god. That's how Sam died, not in the war.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh, Sam was the granddad.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Is that the Congressional Medal of Honor?
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Air conditioning unit. Meal ready to eat.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory and Dawn. Gregory, Gus and Dawn. That is Edith's mum and 2 uncles. No, I wanted to read that first bit. What the hell?
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Uncle Gregory with my rubber ducky.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Cool. This is the funnest game I've ever played.
Hand over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello?
Rubber ducky.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Alright. Come on, pop this goddamn... Pop it. Yeah.
He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
I need to knock down...
Sure made him happy.
I feel like a little kid.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I
Oh shit, something's...
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Oh
She
no.
could have told us
I start drowning myself.
about the world he saw.
Oh, this is tragic. Oh my god.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't
Let's
your
go
fault.
to the surface. Oh, we can't get to the surface. How about we pull this out?
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Someone call Gregory drowned in the bath when he was very young. 1 year old. Jesus. It's my mum's bed.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. Father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Why didn't Gus want to come to the wedding? Whose wedding? Whoa, there's a totem pole there.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
This guy literally flew a kite the whole freaking wedding.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Oh, Gus is gonna get struck by lightning. I can see it coming already. No one told Gus to put the kite down. Oh, you got hit by a tent.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Wow.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
I wonder if we're going to find out about how Mum died. It's unusually empty. Race flag, breakfast, quiet. Dawn, sweep, trash, Gus, mop, mow. Greg, be a baby. Suppose Sam was a military man. Oh wow, they had a climbing thing.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Yeah.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Ah, Sanjay's my dad. Flight to India. Edith Finch.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
We're a tragic family, man.
And to see kids in the house again.
So the mum came back to the great-grandma. She lost her sons and her freaking husband.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
What was this? A classroom? At the top.
But it didn't last.
Edith Finch wrote a book. It was like Dawn Finch's. It's like she was teaching a little bit of a class upstairs.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Milton is one of my brothers, right? Yep. Noticed how Edie is not filled out and Dawn is not filled out. The two really critical characters in this game is Edie, the great-grandmother, and Dawn, Edith's mother. I think uncovering how they died and uncovering their secrets is going to lead to
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
what a sick place. What a bedroom.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
How did he die though?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Oh, he disappeared. He disappeared? So he's not dead? People should build more eccentric houses like this.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Fuck, I wonder where Milton is.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh, Milton ran away from the secret, whatever that is.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Hey, you had a hubbly bubbly. What type of man?
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
He's got a console.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Look at his seat, he's the yoga man.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
What a
In
horrible
our sessions,
job.
I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Ooh. Okay.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats and toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
I'm playing Diablo.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. like a whole new Lewis.
I'm playing 2 games at once. It's like coordination.
So I let him go on. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
So cool.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
The world's getting bigger. His
He no longer
imagination
spoke
was
at the
getting
cannon.
bigger.
But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Oh shit.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he
Minneapolis.
forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
So Lewis just stood there and... Oh, this is a bit morbid.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince.
Not a decision to make there.
The prince was on his own quest for
Sinister serpents.
sinister serpents. He followed the sound of his
Electric sitar.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Oh, quick. Fish are coming faster.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Wow. So you escape a mundane job, I suppose.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him.
Commit suicide, did he?
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
This is definitely the best walking simulator I've ever played. Actually, I haven't played it on home yet.
Waiting, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
It's a guillotine. Oh, did he kill himself in his own cannery?
And the rest I think you know. Oh. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Suicide. It's a suicide. That's how Uncle... That's
My
how
brother was really
brother
cool.
Lewis.
I wish you could have met him.
So one of her brothers killed himself, the other one ran away. That's the whole family tree, apart from the two key characters, great-grandma and my mum. Or Edith's mum. I think we're going to get the answers soon as to why this family is cursed and what secrets. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's just make sure. He's a gamer. Got his WASD highlighted. This is where we're meant to go out.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
Mate, these people
She waited until the day
so many
before we
relatives.
left to tell Edie.
Just tell Edie.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Who's at the top here then?
I wish we'd stayed.
Oh, it's a full little house.
But I understand why we left.
Who lived up here? Edith and Mum, yep.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
God, you have called your servants to ventures, of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden, through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us, and your love supporting us, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. That's her dad's top.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
This is my room. Up at the top of the house.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
I wonder who she's writing. Ah, she's pregnant. Edith is pregnant. She's recording this for her soon-to-be born child. That's what this whole story is about. Edith.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Ah, this is the door next to the main entrance. Have not been in here yet.
you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
This is it.
That night, the tide went way, way out.
No way.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Crazy.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Really?
For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Obviously we're playing as Edie, the great-grandma.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Are you for real, Mom?
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
It's how Dawn passed.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. and then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
Giving birth?
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Don't tell me the kid dies as well. Everyone's just dying. We want to know why.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, what? Did she die of childbirth? At childbirth? Wow, we finished it in 2 hours and 48 minutes. Don't know if I can. It's kind of like what I got from that was death is inevitable. Doesn't matter about the curse. It's amazing that we're alive. Just to crunch all the objects in the game. Wow. I don't know what to make of it, guys. I didn't ever see her drawing Edie or Dawn. Edie had a full life, so the curse didn't impact her, did it? Milton ran away. Dawn lived. So maybe there was no curse. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I have to go. It's got me thinking now, which is all I can ask for from a walking simulator, and I very much enjoyed the ride. So yeah. That is what remains of Edith Finch, and I think Edith Finch, I think she passes away from childbirth as well. Very interesting. I might just watch my own stream again from the beginning and see if I can get more information. But anyway guys, thank you for watching. Space, if you're still there, thanks for watching. This is Monster 69. I didn't expect to finish this game so quick. I'll have to look for something else to to play. So I don't know what that is at the moment. But if not, I'll stream some Elder Scrolls Online as my usual gap filler until I can settle on my next game. Thank you all for watching. This is Monster 69. Have a great day, have a great afternoon, have a great night everybody, and I'll catch you next time. Oh yeah, peace, love, and mung beans, baby.